The Oklahoma City Thunder are absolute juggernauts. There's no other way to describe this team except for being the best in the NBA. Charles Barkley is a big fan, and so am I. This team looks like they can legitimately challenge the Boston Celtics for the NBA championship, and I think they will, and I think there is definitely a route where we see them win the championship. They just beat the hottest team in the NBA in the Dallas Mavericks pretty easily. Now they face the Houston Rockets with a trip to the championship for the NBA Cup on the line. And it all starts, without a doubt, with Shai Gilgeous Alexander, who may be the best half-court scorer in the world. 30.2 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.8 steals, and 1 block per game this year. On 52% shooting from the field, 34% from three, 4 attempts from downtown, and his pick-and-roll partners, man, they are really tough to stop. But he's also an ISO demon, and that's so tough, and that's no ordinary defender. That's the Great Barrier Thief right there. He's just going to body bump, half spin, fall away, butter, and he'll do that like 5 times a game. It'll get into his step back game if he gets the mismatch there with Clint Capella. And like I said, the pick and roll is elite, whether it's Chet, Hartenstein. This is one of the most efficient pick and roll teams of all time when it comes to Shai, and then they have a secondary creator in Jalen Williams. But Shai getting downhill, if he's one-on-one, you can go ahead and take the ball out, right? Because it's pretty much over if he's getting downhill going one-on-one. He's a solid passer as well, averaging over 6 assists per game. There he hits J-Dub in the dunker spot for the chin-up, and then he's going to hit J-Dub cutting baseline for the alley. Shai, man, I don't know. He's an MVP. That's the best way to describe him. And then you got Jalen Williams, who's averaging 22 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block in a big-time stat line in his third season, after a pretty solid sophomore year. Now he's back in his third year playing 32 minutes a game. Honestly, he should be playing more because he is absolutely stuffing the stat sheet. 51% from the field, 38% from 3-on-4 attempts. He's a plus defender as well. Watch him rip that out of Shadon Sharp's hands. Go the other way. Here he's going to get a hand on this Denny Ashvita take to the rim. He's really good in transition as well. He can really get downhill. That's the best part of his game, is getting downhill and slashing with that big frame that he's got. He's a good three-point shooter. Good enough. He shot over 40% last year. He's only shooting 38% this year, but still, that's about league average, maybe a little bit above. But like I said, he is a slasher at his heart, and that's what he does best. Gets downhill, gets to the rim right there on Scoot Henderson. Now he's going to take it in and dish it out to Alex Caruso. 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. He is the ideal co-star for a guy like Shai Gilgeous Alexander. I mean, you see him even there in this Chet highlight, who we got to talk about next. Chet is an alien. Everybody talks about Wemby. Chet is that guy. 16.4 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2.6 blocks in 26 minutes during his time with the Thunder so far this year. 51% from the field, 38% from 3-on-4 attempts. And yes, that means all 3 of their big 3 shoot over 50% from the field. This may be the most efficient team we've ever seen, and it may continue on that trend for the next few years. Per 36, Chet averages 22.3 points, 11.8 rebounds, 3.5 blocks. He's a huge lob threat inside, especially working off of Shai, and also a great spacer. He can pick and roll, he can pick and pop, he can hit the short roll and make a play out of it, he can hit the long roll and catch the lob, or he can just do that and step back over a 7-foot guy and knock it down with ease. Here he is once again, Amin Thompson with a half-hearted closeout, and he's just going to knock it down. And then, like we said, the pick and pop where he is deadly, and man, he's also a paint beast as well. Even though don't let that skinny frame fool you, right? He can do work in the post, and probably the best part about his game is his rim protection, right? They have clamps on the wings with Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso. We'll talk about that later, but it's all funneled toward Chet Holmgren, and he really helps make this defense elite. He's just an absolute unicorn right there, driving to the rim. I don't know what you really do with that. And then once Chet comes off the court, then you got to deal with Isaiah Hartenstein, who averages 11.6 points per game, 12.8 rebounds, and 4.3 assists as a post. Huge numbers. Now, he's only played 9 games, so that might change a little bit, but 55% shooting from the field. His float game is automatic. If you see a Thunder game, if you watch one, you'll probably see him hit that about 5 times during the game. That's his whole offensive game, is that floater right there. Every now and then he'll get he'll get a little bit frisky and hit that spin move right here that he's going to hit on Şengün. But man, Hartenstein has been such a great addition to this team. He can also hit that long roll, right, where he can go up for the lob and catch it over the top. But his best quality, I think, for this Thunder team is his elite passing. 4.3 assists per game from the center spot, right? We've seen how valuable that is, having a post that can pass it and also get on the floor like that. At a boy, going the other way, easy lob or easy layup for J-Dub. So Hartenstein, huge addition. And then you got Lu Dort. Lu Dort's like the 4th or 5th option on this team. 10 points a game, 4.6 rebounds. And you know who Lu Dort really reminds me of? That's a guy in Boston who also has long hair, and his name is Drew Holiday. Just an absolute glue guy, shoots almost 40% from 3, has really improved in that aspect of his game, but he does all the little things, and that includes taking on the other team's best perimeter player every single night. He's also, like we said, developed into a sniper. A guy that used to be left open all the time as the other team's game plan has now become a legit threat that you have to close out on hard and run him off the line. He only shoots 41% from the field, but 39% from 3. Also, like we talked about, the torture chamber is a real thing. Give me that, Keldon Johnson. We're going the other way. And then, give me that. But between Dort and Alex Caruso, who, even though he hadn't had the best year so far for the Thunder, I expect him to catch on as the year progresses. They've got the #1 defensive rating in the league, 2nd in opponents' points per game. And it's in large part, like I said, because of those two, Cason Wallace, other guy, Aaron Wiggins, all funneling it towards Chet and Ihart, and it's tough to stop. It's tough to score against. Caruso's averaging 6 and 3 in about 20 minutes a game, 2 steals as well, but he just cannot hit a shot. Last year he was 47% from the field, 41% from 3, so I expect this to level out at some point, because obviously he's an elite shooter. He's not going to continue to shoot 27% from 3, but he's also a great glue guy, great addition. Shipping out Josh Giddey and getting him, I think, was just huge for them this offseason, obviously. He is 30 years old, though, so maybe he's starting to slow down, lose a step, but he's still a great role guy no matter what. Even if he can't hit that 3 ball, he's still playing defense, he's still hustling. Great guy to have in the locker room. And then you got Isaiah Joe, 9 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 1.7 assists in about 20 minutes per game this year. But last year, he was better, 41% from the field, 38% from 3 on 6.2 attempts this year. So the 38% from 3, not great so far. I mean, the Thunder are cruising, and they're not even as efficient as they were last year. So you expect that to, kind of level off at some point, and everybody on the team is going to continue to improve. But Isaiah Joe can absolutely light it up from downtown. He's a guy that can go for 30 off that bench if you're not careful with him. And there was some rotation pieces we didn't even get to touch on. Pause. Cason Wallace is having a good year. Aaron Wiggins is having a really good year, really taking some of Caruso's minutes, if I had to guess. Ousmane Dieng was playing well before his injury. And I'm probably forgetting somebody on top of that too, but with the Celtics eliminated from the in-season tournament, it's looking like that there's nobody that's going to stop this Thunder team, and maybe this is a preview for the playoffs. The Thunder just absolutely running it. I thought the Celtics were going to win it all coming into the year. I still think that, but hey, this Thunder team is making me really, really think about that overall. Yeah, with that being said, though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point. We're looking for about 200 likes on today's video. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching.